Earlier this month in Fiji, a disturbing video of a child being severely beaten by her father had emerged online, causing a stir among the community. The video had been shared on social media, including by Fiji's Women and Children's Minister, Linda Tamboya, to her 176,000 followers on Facebook. She eventually took the video down. Fiji police says the man in the video had been arrested before the incident was shared online. He's since been remanded and will appear in court again on February 19th. The Fiji Women's Crisis Centre's coordinator, Shamima Ali, joins me on Pacific Waves to share her thoughts on the incident. I began by asking Shamima for her reaction upon seeing the video.
Well, I had mixed reactions. I was not at all surprised because this is an ongoing thing. This has gone on and on for, ever since I started work here. We know that. In all Fiji and other Pacific countries, we beat up children to discipline them and so on. But I think seeing it so vividly was a bit of a shocker. And I was also thinking that we shouldn't have put this up. But if it wouldn't have been put up, then we wouldn't have known that this child was was being treated in this manner. And that was then also, it wasn't a one-off. It had been going on for some time. So, so that was the reaction. But of course, that what's going to be done about it.
And before we get into discussion around violence in Fiji and in Pacific countries, have you been able to reach out to the young lady that's in the centre of the incident? How is she doing so far? Do you know?
Yes, she's doing pretty good. We, in collaboration with our Department for Social Welfare, the Fiji Women's Crisis Center has been able to offer refuge. And a lot of people from the community are, helping, donating, and giving things. So, so she is at the moment in a good place till she's a state, is in the care of the state, and they have put her in our care at this point in time. But they're still in charge, the Social Welfare Department. So till they find an accommodation that is suitable for her, that the state can provide, she is in our care. And also that she, of course, the counseling sessions need to take place. So we are taking her through that. A seasoned counselor is with her every day, and we're trying to get her to carry on with her schoolwork from home.
Obviously, you're not the only one that's had very strong reactions to the video, but what did you think of Minister Linda Tamboya's handling of the situation? Was resharing the video really the best way to address the incident?
Perhaps not. I don't think so, because it was already out there, and that's how we all got to know about it, which is a good thing, whoever put it up. I also think that there were a lot of people watching that they could have intervened. But as far as maybe it wasn't in the best judgment to put it up again, and in that manner. And but the way her intervention also, what it did was it spurred action, from her ministry very fast. And it has created and also the video itself has created a lot of conversations on social media and in other circles about child abuse, and also and people are looking at corporal punishment in a different perspective. So maybe bad judgment, but her immediate actions have resulted in immediate action for the child.
You've been advocating for women's and children's rights for decades. Why do you think the message around elimination of gender violence has been so slow to catch on in Fiji?
It's not only Fiji, throughout the world and throughout the region, the Pacific region, because we've got a network around the Pacific, and we work help set up crisis centers and so on, and help in training and all that. It is hard because we live within patriarchal systems. And that is very difficult to shift. And add on to that the misconception about culture and religion. If you add on all of that, there are layers and layers of belief systems that continue to oppress women. So that is very hard to shift. I think Fiji in the Pacific barring Australia and New Zealand, of course. But I mean, there also you have very high rates of violence against women in Australia. I think about 2 women die a week from domestic violence and so on. But in Fiji, we have done the most work, and a lot more awareness and a lot more progressive steps have been taken. But to bring down the numbers, there has to be a very, concerted effort on the part of everyone, all of the country, to be able to bring those numbers down, and working with men, working with boys, working with those. Those are the things that are not being done. For us, single-handedly, this organization, we've been around this year for 40 years. We have seen the changes, and more women are reporting. But unless we do another study, which we are about to embark upon after over 10 years, the last one was in 2011, unless we do another one and do a comparative study, only then can we say whether we have managed to bring it down. But there's also other elements that come in, like climate change, online violence, technology-facilitated violence, all these things. So, you add on to the layers and layers of abuse and violence and so on. So hardly are we managing to deal with domestic violence, with rape, in normal circumstances. Now with all of this, it just keeps adding on. And, with the advent of drugs in this country also, that's another contributing factor.
What message do you have for the community that's been shocked by this video?
What I always say when these things reach this place is that we've had 2 deaths in the past, in my knowledge, at least 2 deaths of children in the hands of a parent. And everybody after the deaths or after an incident like this say, we knew he was doing this every time, So for me to say that to the community is, intervene. Don't be just bystanders. Don't be taking videos. Intervene and do something about it. Report it. The police are around. Go to them. Ring the crisis center. We've got toll-free lines contracted by government on domestic violence, on children. Use all these lines. But please intervene. Take the child away. And, and hold the perpetrator accountable. And that is what we don't do enough of. So I would say any community where this is happening, this is what you need to do. And it's also a good lesson that for other people not to do this. I think that is what was stark about this video, that you can actually see the kicking, the dragging, the throwing on the floor, and the beating. So I think, sometimes these images, unfortunately, it happened in this manner, but it shocks people into saying, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be seen to be doing that, and start looking at alternatives.